The next session will be about accelerating startup community through the collaboration between industry and ecosystem building. We are very delighted to have two guest speakers to come up on stage and sharing with the panel discussion. First of all, allow me to welcome on stage from Metagen, Dr. Takuji Yamada, please. Joining us, please welcome on stage Mr. Shohei Maekawa. So I will have to say konnichiwa to all of you, and the stage is yours.
Okay. Hi everyone, morning, not morning, good afternoon I guess. I guess everyone's not too sleepy after lunchtime. I would like to first to say thank you to NIA for allowing us to have this place to explain about our program that we do worldwide and in Thailand. And today I am going to explain about how we actually change the world through acceleration of startups, through industries, collaboration, and building up an ecosystem. So before doing that, I'd like to explain about myself a little bit. My name is Shohei Michael Maekawa. I'm from a company, Japanese company called Leave a Nest. I'm actually head of UK branch, as well as I'm also in Japanese headquarters. And as you can see, I have wide range of experiences across the world, and I have experience of research in UK. So first of all, I'd like to explain a little bit about Leave a Nest. So our company is science communication company in Japan, and our vision is advancement of science and technology for global happiness. And so basically, our company is a company that wants to do something good for the world. And one of the characteristics we have is that our company is comprised of all researchers, so master's or PhD degree holder in some kind of science background. Nowadays, we have more social science researchers as well, like from psychology area or mathematics and etc. And another thing is that we are Japanese companies, but we actually work globally, and we have branches in several places in the world, such as Singapore, Malaysia, UK, and US. And hopefully, one day, if we can open a Thai branch, it would be grateful as well. So, how did this Japanese company start? This company was started 16 years ago by 15 graduate students. So, is there anyone who's still a university student here? If you can. You? Okay, okay. So there's several students. So our founders actually founded this company when they were university students too. And what the problem was that lied in Japan 16 years ago was these two problems called loss of interest towards science by kids. And another problem was employment problem for PhD students in Japan. So even if you get PhD, it takes 3 years, 5 years, but you still don't get a job. That's a big, big problem in Japan. Still a big problem in Japan. So these 15 graduate students from science background managed to gather up and started this company called Leave a Nest. And our hypothesis was that, why were these two problems occurring? So there were researchers who are doing cutting-edge science researches in universities, and then there are societies. And there are huge gap in knowledge between these two groups. So people from society don't know about what the researchers are doing, so they get more scared about cutting-edge sciences. Unless we manage to narrow down the gap in knowledge between these two groups, we won't be able to solve those two problems. So what we started as a science education company. So we actually started by doing science workshop in schools, where university students or young researchers actually conduct science workshops about cutting-edge sciences, and that way researchers, students get to learn about cutting-edge sciences, and that actually helps them to get interested to science. Same time, researchers also can help to train their communication skills, of science communication skills. So through this, we managed to build up a core competence of transferring complicated, difficult sciences into a simple manner to a different group. And now, by using this core competence, we are actually working on a wide range of projects related to science and technology. So as you can see on the left side, we are working on science education. We also work closely with universities or researchers to give out research grant for young researchers. We also support careers for researchers. And the final thing that we are working on right now is entrepreneur support. So basically, anyone who wants to start up or anyone who wants to commercialize their research seeds, we actually do support for that. And today, I'd like to talk mainly about this one, the last part, about entrepreneur support. And just to add up, we are working with a wide range of large corporates from Japan. As you can see, this is just part of the partner companies that we worked with. But I guess for some of you, there are several notable big companies here from Japan. So we work closely with them in order to drive these programs. And now I'd like to move on about explaining how we actually do this. How do we actually support these startups? How do we actually support startups that are trying to change the world? So we do this program called Seed Acceleration Program called Tech Planter. So Tech Planter is a seed acceleration program that supports commercialization of research seeds through university-industry collaboration. And we have 3 characteristics. One of the characteristics is that we focus on real tech. We call it real tech. It's basically like deep tech, technology that requires physical development. So biotech, medtech, agri-tech, deep tech, IoT engineering, you say, but not something like e-commerce or game application. The reason why we actually focus on these areas is because we know that this area requires lots and lots of money, lots of time in order to develop. And we know that as a researcher, so that's why we want to focus on these areas. Another thing is that we usually focus on early stage, but we accept teams from all stages. And the third point is passion. We regard passion as very, very important part. Unless you don't have passion, we don't believe that we can actually continue for long years of hard work in order to commercialize your research seeds. And I just want to explain how Tech Planter works. It's basically like a 1-year program. But it's not just that. So we can actually support startups from a wide range of stages. So startup in a very, very early stages. Maybe you're just one person. All you have is a technology. We might be able to help you through business plan building, or maybe we can help you to match up with other members who can join into your members. Another thing that we can do is we actually conduct a demo day. And that place, you can actually present about your project. It's very important to explain and express about what you're trying to do towards other people. Otherwise, you can't get a good feedback or get a collaborator or new members to your teams. And in order to do that, you have to be able to explain about your research topic in a simple manner so that other people from other fields can understand. And there, our science communication skills can actually be used to support startups. And even after that, we actually have other things like Tech Seed Grant or Tech Planter Meetup in order to support startups to expose their projects and be in contact with different kinds of collaborators or industries. And this is what the kind of annual plan that we are thinking of right now in Southeast Asia. So we actually have the green part is within the Tech Planter program, and we have wide range. We can actually support startups that can join to Tech Planter through helping them, mentoring them, and also investing them, or trying to help the match up with industry side. And even outside Tech Planter program, since we are running wide ranges of services, in research area, or maybe in careers area or other areas, where startup can actually use that to accelerate their project. And just to summarize, Tech Planter itself, what we are trying to do is not just do like demo day. That's not just the aim. Our aim is to create an ecosystem of these real tech startups. We have large corporates supporting startup, maybe in financial way, but not only that, through technology that they might have, or sales network, or maybe the fields that the startup can use to test it out. And also, we are working closely with university incubators or governments. And another thing is that we have really, really good community network with super factories. And I'll explain a little bit about this super factory afterwards as well. But Leave a Nest itself acts as a communicator to connect these different communities with the startups, so that the speed of these startups' technology can be released into society accelerates, and hence solving different kinds of world around the different kinds of problems around the world. And we have been doing this since 2014 in Japan. And we have over 103 startups that are living right now. And some of them IPO'd and got M&A as well. And I'd just like to explain one of few examples about startups that came out from our community. So this company is called Chalenergy. This company actually generates electricity from typhoon, hurricane. Normal wind turbine turns like this, but when hurricane comes, you have to stop it. But this one turns vertically. And this way, you can actually generate electricity from hurricane and change the energy, hazardous energy from hurricane into actual electric, something useful. And this team was the first winner of Tech Planter. And how they actually used us was basically they won in Tech Planter, but when he came up to us, he came up with a paper cup model. It was just a blueprint or prototype, simple prototype. He couldn't make the whole wind turbine by himself, just to show you. So what we did was we actually supported the collaboration with the Japanese manufacturer called Super Factories. The one on the right is a metal manufacturer. And we actually connected them together so they can actually start working on prototype. And the photo on the left is actually a first 3-meter prototype. And now they're actually working to make 8-meter prototype, and they actually built it in one of the islands in Japan, and they successfully managed to generate electricity from hurricane as well. So what we do is we actually support startups through collaboration with these super factories or big companies so that they can actually build up systems for them or build actual device products with them. And now what we are doing as a new challenge is that we are helping startups, Japanese startups, it doesn't have to be startups from Japan, but startups to expand to other parts of the world using our global network. And that they actually are working in Philippines to solve the problems of electricity problems in remote islands in Philippines. So they actually are working together with the governments right now. And they actually presented in our Tech Plan Demo Day in Philippines as well. And today, there's actually one more startup, leading startup from Japan, that are from one of the Tech Planter members. And they're trying to change the world in a very, very interesting way. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Yamada from MetaGen.
So, thank you. So, good afternoon. So, today, I'd like to talk about the story and my concept of our companies. That is, physics change the world. So, as the title says that, it's a good story for the after lunch, not before the lunch. And then, my name is Takuji Yamada. I'm the Vice President of the CTO of the Metabogenomics. And then, this is a, yes, so physics. No, physics? Yes, physics. So, actually, probably always we have this one. every day. And then this is one day a publisher from the United States come to my place to take an interview. And then after the interview, this is the title of their article for introducing me without my proofreading. So then comes the poop scientist of Japan. So it's true. So I'm working for the feces and the poops. But, yes, feces, but in reality, it's a human gut microbiota, human gut microbiome. You know the human gut microbiome? So, this is the concept of my company. We try to design the gut microbiome toward creating a disease-free world. Of course, it's very difficult, but we are trying to making a disease-free world using this, our core technology. Let me introduce a little bit about human gut microbiome a little bit. So, the human gut microbiome is the small species, small bacterial species inside your body. It's huge amount of the number. It's number of the bacterial cells inside your body is about 1 trillion. And then amount of the human gut microbiota is kind of 3 bottles of something like this. So 1.5 kilogram, over 1.5 kilogram microbiota living inside of my body. That is not me, but it's a living inside of your body. So recently, there are tons of reports about the association between the human gut microbiota to the disease. Obesity, allergy, diabetes, and then as well as autism. So autism is a kind of mental disease. It's not an intestinal disease, but tons of reports say about the relationship between the bacterial species inside your body and this kind of disease. For example, in obesity cases, there's a report about this obesity, the gut microbiota is a kind of the causality for the obesity. Meaning that if you have a bad bacterial composition in your body, it leads you obese. This is validated by experimental validations. Meaning that, so this is a good important point. If you can keep nice conditions, or if you can change your bad condition, bad microbiota condition to the nice microbiota conditions, it's possibility to cure or to treat your health condition by controlling gut microbiota. So, but how? So far, nobody knows how to control microbiota properly. Do you know that? If you know, let me know. For example, antibiotics, if you have some fevers, sometimes you take antibiotics, but antibiotics kill most of your microbiota. You cannot control what kind of microbiota you can kill. So most of the people do not know how to control your gut microbiota conditions, except us. So now we are trying to control in the design how your proper gut microbiota. So this is our approach. Firstly, we try to make a database for the material and the solutions for how to control microbiota, collaborating together with the food company or drug companies. Because in our core technology, we can measure your gut microbiota conditions based on the DNA analysis or mass spec analysis. Remember that here, probably more than around 100 people are living here and staying here. The diversity, you have to think about the diversity of gut microbiota. Probably you know your body temperature. And then the body temperature range is not so different along these peoples, but probably nobody knows your normal condition of your gut microbiota. Meaning that the solutions is totally depending on the people. But from our research, that kind of solution is not totally depending on the people. It's kind of the type. We see the kind of type, the microbiota type. So we try to we try to find a way how to change or how to modify or how to design the microbiota together with the drug company and the food company. So now we are making a database. And after we develop the database, we move to the consumer service, including the solutions. I am working not only for this company, but also for the university in Japan. I'm working for the colorectal cancer, the cancer in your large intestine. And from my research results, if you can see your gut microbiota condition to me, I can roughly say, yes, you have a risk, or the risk of the colorectal cancer. But so far, even for the other company's result, you can see only, yes, we have this bacteria inside your body. So what? So we want to develop a service, including a solution, how you treat your bad conditions. So this is the second way. So, So this is our kind of collaborators. Together with this Japanese, so together with these companies, we can try to find a way to develop how to control, how to design the microbiota conditions. So after we develop the way to design the gut microbiota, we'd like to go to the consumer service, use a order to our company, and then we send a kit, the sampling in a toilet, and transport to the sample to us. Then we analyze it, and then we announce the notifications. Then result will come for the users. And this is not only for the gut microbiota conditions. This is including the solutions. If we want to have a problem, if we want to change something, we can see the answer. So check your gut conditions, then act according to the solutions. That is our business model. Yes, I say that. So our company is was coming from the university technology, because I'm working for the center of the colorectal cancer analysis. I can say, yes, you will be at risk of the cancer, but in only the research in the university, it's very difficult to have a solution. It's very difficult to make this result to the society or to the market. So that's why I launched our company 3 years ago together with our partners. So the concept of this startup Thailand is endless opportunities. So we wanted creating a disease-free world. So I know this is a very difficult, only for our companies, only by our companies. That's why I'm looking for the partner or collaborators or some friends as well, together to share the vision, creating the disease-free world. That is my message to you in these presentations. Okay. So that's all. We are one of the leading company for intestinal design, and then Metabologenomics is our company name, so please remember it. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。So thank you so much, Dr. Yamada. So that was one of the example of startup that came out from our Tech Planter program. So this is one of the leading startup in Japan working on most cutting-edge researches and trying to implement that into society and solving problems around the world. So we want to actually create more startup like this around the world. And not only in Japan, but we want to do it in Thailand as well. So I'd like to, at the end, address our plans in Thailand. So first of all, I'd like you to all remember this date, 23rd of June, and put it in your diary as well. This is the date that we are conducting Tech Plan Demo Day in Thailand. And it's actually not our first time to do it this year. We have been doing this since 2016 in Thailand. The first one was done in UTCC. The second one was done in Mahidol University. And we had applications from a wide range of fields, from medical, environment, robotics, biology as well, biotech as well. And there are already some successful teams. Some of them are actually in the pavilion as well, like Electric Nose, I guess. Last year, we had several winners getting awards from large corporates from Japan, such as JT or like Fujifilm. And we also asked T-Cells, one of the Thai government agency, to join our program, and several teams actually joined us as well. The last year's winners was actually a researcher from Kasetsart University working on vaccination of fish. And we're trying to help them to collaborate. Even after Tech Planter, we are still trying to help them to support collaboration with, like, for example, Japanese company or startups as well. So, and we are trying to do this through close collaboration with local partners, not only in Thailand, but we create a good relationship with local partners. So, for example, in Thailand, NIA is one, as well as T-Cells and universities are close partners for us as well. And this is the number of teams that we actually gathered last year in 2016 only. So there's over 300 teams. And what we are trying to do is we are creating an ecosystem in each of these countries. But not only that, we want to interconnect these global networks so that startups from maybe Thailand can benefit from approaching towards companies or startups or researchers from other countries like Japan, UK, US, Singapore. So we are trying to create this global ecosystem of real tech startups through our Tech Planter. And some of the startups from abroad have been quite successful. They've been able to gather their own fundings as well. For example, in total, these successful startups managed to raise around 30 million US dollars. We just started, so it's not much yet, but we are trying to develop this more and more. And again, I want you to mark this date, 23rd of June. It will be conducted in NIA office, main headquarters. So if you're any researcher or startups or students, anyone, please feel free to come and visit and watch the event. And this time, our major partner, corporate partners, oh, sorry, it says Philippines, from Thailand will be Mitsui Chemical, which is one of the largest major companies for chemical companies in the world. They have lots of different kinds of materials that they can might be able to provide towards startups. There are various ways that can collaborate with these companies, as well as that JT. JT is third biggest tobacco company in the world. And they are working on a wide range of things, not only tobacco, but food as well as pharmaceutical as well. So there are many ways that startup can actually work together with these large corporates. And the application actually is supposed to be, the deadline is supposed to be today, but I actually extended it so for like a week. So if there's anyone who's interested in joining this to Tech Planter and wants to accelerate your own project, any researchers or any students, startups, who wants to accelerate and expand the opportunities of your business or projects, please come and talk to us, and we'll be able to help. And the actual demo day, again, is on 23rd of June, and you can apply from here, or you can catch me and ask towards me directly. And I'd like to close my presentation here, but yeah, we have actually a pavilion in Japan Pavilion. We have a booth there. Actually, Dr. Yamada has a booth there as well. So if you have any question towards Metagen or towards LiverNest or about Tech Planter, please contact us. Okay, thank you very much. Will we be using this the rest of time for Q&A? Or will we be using the rest of the time for Q&A? Okay, okay. So if anyone from here has question on Metagen or LiverNest or Tech Planter, please feel free to raise your hands. We have around 15 minutes, so if there's anyone, because I think I try to cover as much as I can within my presentation, but if there's any part that you have any questions about, I can answer.
ท่านใดมีคำถามสอบถามได้เลยนะคะ I'm just going to translate roughly in Thai ถ้าใครมีคำถามเกี่ยวกับตัวเมตาเจนหรือว่าตัวโมเดลของสตาร์ทอัพตัวนี้นะคะรวมไปถึงสนใจอยากจะร่วมงานเนี่ยก็สามารถถามตามตรงนี้ได้เลยค่ะ Any questions? Well, maybe you executed perfectly, so they just don't have the question yet.
Okay.
So the QR code. So if I scanned it, it will be automatically linked to
the entries registration URL. So you can use your phone and just
okay.
Or you can directly come to me, and then I'll send you a URL, or I'll explain about it a little bit in more details if they need. Yep.
Okay. So then. We never know. Maybe we'll see each other in Japan.
Yeah,
Who knows, right? Dr. Yamada was like, maybe. Not very sure, but yes, maybe.
Yeah, actually, the winner of the tech planter gets to fly to Singapore to present again. If you win in a tech plant demo day in Thailand, you get to fly to Singapore. And if you win in Singapore, you get invited to Japan as well.
Okay.
And the more you win, the more exposure, global exposure you get, as well as more opportunity for collaboration with wider range of companies. Even without that, we'll try to support as much as we can.
Yeah, and then like to be international accepted.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you have a good material to change or to modify your gut microbiota conditions, it's very good for us as well. So it's we could be one of the partner of the kind of startup company. Yes.
Yeah, not just like personal startup, but also contribute to the society as well, because you bring new knowledge, new innovation to the world, of course. Yes, okay. So, well, like I said, you've been executed beautifully. So I think for further information, they will just scan the QR code and go directly to you.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Yamada. Thank you, Shohei-san. Thank you.